Well, never mind. Go ahead.
Okay,
No.
we're on live. Okay, you want to go in?
No.
All right, anyway. All right, so this is an ongoing theme, you guys, about image worship versus authenticity. I know I've made a couple of videos on this before, but see if I can recapture it, trying to set all this stuff up. You kind of lose the train sometimes. Come on back in. Let's go. Even in spiritual circuses, I mean circles, the image worship gets a hold of us. Like I mean, I hate it in a way, but I was told to get it, right? It's not the ochre color of the holy Vedantic robe and the masters and all that. No. But my neck is cold because I've been healing something in my neck. I was just asking God's Spirit right now, what about, I just had a hamburger, which is wrong, according to many spiritual circles. Even though I've been told by Spirit that I need to eat it once in a while during this process. It's like I'm paying for something genetic going on, some old Neanderthal stuff. And I was just asking directly, and then Shiva and all the methods, all the Soham and Om Namah Shivaya, the mantras, the Kundalinis, the Kriyas, and so forth. And I just went, is there a direct way? Is there a direct way where you live as naturally as a child or as a doggy, which they don't live by rules? They live naturally and instinctively, right? Now, you can go unconscious. You don't have the ability to step out of your instinctual self. That's animals. That's why we love the dogs, because they're so pure. Cats or animals or nature. But then during the human stage, you're living in a fallen state. You can question yourself. You have the knowledge of good and evil. And so you doubt yourself. You don't live forthrightly. You manipulate, connive, you second guess. And that's where the image creeps in, the image worship. How does it look? Will it play in Poughkeepsie? And, whatever that political saying is. Plausible deniability. Can I get away with it? Can I put it on a front? Right? And do this shit behind. The occult, which simply means hidden. We can do this crap behind the scenes. The Wizard of Oz, so forth, the deep state, the Soruses of the world, etc. So is there a way to live directly, naturally, without the rules? And it creeps in everywhere. We worship the image, whether it's, obviously how you look. We're obsessed with how we look. And that it's not just that, success worship. Like in the world now, we've fallen for this bankster, international banker, Babylon debt slave system. And so it's all about the money, because money can buy, like Yogananda says, money buys everything else. It buys sex and wine and power and properties and so forth. So it really seduces you. And Jesus alludes to it by saying it's harder for a rich man to get into heaven than for a camel to go through the eye of the needle. And the eye of the needle was that little door in the Damascus gate, the small door. They closed the big doors at night from marauders, and then you had to open a little 3-foot tall door, and the camel had to crawl in on its 4 legs to get in. It can get in, but it's very difficult if you arrived late at the gates of Jerusalem. Look deeper in the allegories, it all makes sense. So this image creeps in, and we worship the husk. We get left holding the empty bag. And in spirituality, we get the guru thing, the robes. I joke about it. Lately, I used to hate wearing anything. Now I'm like doing Rudraksha beads. I'm doing whatever these are, tourmaline, things. I'm wearing a pendant. Now, am I completing old lifetimes? Maybe, because I always hated having to wear anything, like rings or anything. I made a yogic bracelet with the copper, silver, and gold. But when you do the accoutrements, how it looks, it's Pharisees, it's, I look holy, it gets very insidious, And it gets in everywhere in modern day spirituality. You're all, hey man, I'm really spiritual, look at my yoga pants and my, goji berries and my green drink and, whatever. And that's still image worship. obviously they're priests, the robes, you know, whether they're Tibetan monks or yoga people or the top knot or look, your body is an image worship. If you're just doing hatha yoga just for the body, which, you know, maybe most people are, it's still image worship. How it looks at the yoga studio. That's not authentic. That's still image worship. And it gets insidious. And this really started originally in Pangea. These are my opinions. Search through your own Akashic Records access for your own experiences of it. So in the original landmass on Earth in Pangea, the spirits came in and manifested bodies. We coalesced like ice materializing out of steam, then water, then ice. So our bodies were sort of like the manifestation, the solidity of it. And at that point, we had image started becoming a thing, like how it looks. And this is where masquerading and hiding behind image started. Therefore, they're saying it's like the devil masquerades as a being of light because it looks good. So we started misusing that because we knew that the simple spirits trusted angelic looking spirits. So demonic, if you will, or succubus denial spirits that want to feed off of others would come. They knew they could fool them. It's like a duck blind. It's like someone wearing a costume or something that makes them look like a blind, where they're hunting ducks. We're putting on or a wolf in sheep's clothing. We put on a false image to look okay. Now politicians master this, of course, and because we're still foolable by how it looks. And we purposely get the people on Earth to not be able to feel with their heart or their solar plexus, because then they can't see behind the image. They can't feel what's there. It's like when a 5-year-old looks at Santa and goes, I think it's Daddy in there. Because they can feel it, even though the image looks like some strange. Either they get scared by it, or they feel through it and go, that's Dad. They see right through the image, right? And so this still goes on now, big time. And it really came to a big thing in Atlantis when we started to worship the form. I'm plugging in a power cord here so I can keep you guys going. Hang on. There we go. So in Atlantis, we started worshiping the form worship. That's when you're really worshiping how it looks and not the essence. And we're still doing that. Plastic surgery, you know, fake facades, fronting, putting on the front. And so spirits then started to fool the simpler spirits on Earth, or the more authentic Earth spirits. There was no such thing as faking or lying or denying back originally on Earth. So no one even had that concept that could be done. So by looking a certain way, the beings assume, even though it felt wrong sometimes, they go, something's not right. It's like when your dog can know a person. That's not a good person. But they'd be talked into it. They go, what do you mean? No, I am an angel. Don't I look like an angel? And you go, yeah. Well, am I not giving you things and helping you? Yeah. So they'd suck you in. So the image worship versus authenticity is what we're undoing now. To the extreme. America is the land of total fakery. We invented advertising, which is basically lying, putting on advertising is usually a false front and not delivering fully what you promise. Now, some companies are just starting to change that. Maybe Subaru, maybe Volvo. Some of these companies are going, wow, what if we were actually authentic? Could we get people to trust us and build a customer base, right? So this is going to come up. And spiritual image worship, wolves hiding in sheep's clothing, this is what's being surfaced right now at this time. And especially in the spiritual world, lots of people will say the right thing, look the right way, or just be caught in the head, and they aren't feeling. If you Find spiritual researchers or teachers or truth tellers that aren't feeling their heart in their bellies. They literally cannot distinguish from what's real, what's authentic versus an image, how it looks. This goes on in the astral worlds and the spiritual world as well. So you can intend by saying that one of the oldest Vedic prayers in ancient India was, lead me from the real, unreal, to the real. Lead me from the unreal to the real. Because we were, even back then, caught up in how it looks, jewelry. Now it's plastic surgery. Look how shiny my car is. Or look at my university credentials. Or look at how many followers I have of my yoga studio. Or followers of my book, best-selling author. All that, it can still be success worship. Not picking on people. They were like Tony Robbins, incredibly successful, because a lot of people that follow him are like, I want to be successful. We're a civilization of success worship. Worshipping success is still graven image. It's still form worship. Some nebulous idea of success, which is usually money or fame. And those will still catch you as an image worship. It's a graven image. It's an idol. It's an illusion. It's giving your power to something that's temporary. It's not real. Not that you can't enjoy those things. I enjoy my car, which was a gift from God to me. And it's a nice car that I got magically. And so there's nothing wrong with enjoying beautiful bodies, money, going to some resort, a beach, or whatever. It's fine. But if you're putting the image, before your authenticity, no matter how beautiful it looks or how perfect the image is, it's still fake. It's Memorex. It's not the real thing. So image worship versus authenticity. That anything that aligned with God, which can be anything, God's in everything. It can be sex, bodies, money, all those things which we traditionally judge as non-spiritual or being into them, can be absolutely enlightening and awakening if inside you are worshiping the essence, or you are aligned with, communing with the essence. And equally, it can look perfect. Oh, it's my perfect yoga teacher, and he's so spiritual, and we do seva, and we do service, and it can still be a worship of what it looks like to be spiritual. That would be idolatry. So finding the essence means life force inside. That's the essence. You are the only one that can choose to have that or not have that. All right. Check it out, the webcasts, if you're interested, on Sundays, tobiaslars.com. Come sign up for some webcasts. If you want to participate, you can ask questions. Just listen in, whatever you choose to do. And I recommend the innerbodyawakening.com to get started as a fundamental technique. Yeah. So what do you want? Authenticity, which finally truly satisfies? Or do you want to keep chasing mirages, images in the Maya Matoti illusion dream fog? And keep running for the carrot, and it never getting there. Even when you make all the money, you have all the fame, you have all the everything, your body looks perfect, why aren't you still satisfied? Because you're not drinking from the authentic fountain. Authentic. Gold. A-U. Authorship. Your own authorship. All right. Much love. See if I can see how to shut this off here. Here we go.